All right. Good morning, everyone. Thank y'all for taking time to join our call. Quite a few of you have met Michelle at some of our past events that we've had, and I'm fortunate that I've been able to work with Michelle and her teammate Shawnette for many years. And when I was a single mom, I had a First American home warranty and I had a plumbing issue, and it was just so nice to be able to pick up a phone and pay $50 back then. I don't even know what it is now, to get that fixed. And so y'all are going to see me, if I have access to y'all social media, you're going to see some buyer targeted posts go out over the next couple weeks on why people need buyers representation. A lot of y'all that operate more in small towns, I'm getting feedback that buyers are going through the listing agent thinking they're saving money, thinking that the listing agent already knows all about the property. Why do I need my own representation? Why do I need a buyer's agent? Same thing with builder reps. You know, they're just going to Perry Homes or whoever, and they think, oh, I'm going to get a better deal if I just go to the builder rep. So y'all are going to see some content that I'm working on. Some is already scheduled to y'all's pages, and then some more you'll see over the next couple weeks. But blogs on why our buyers need representation, and one of those things is home warranty and builder warranty, new construction warranty. Because if that buyer is going through a builder rep, does that builder rep really care if they have a decent warranty? Does that builder really care if they're getting the best value? No, they're just trying to crank out inventory. Same with going through a listing agent and a client not using a buyer's rep there, right? They just want to get the house sold. In the state of Texas, they legally cannot represent both parties. Their responsibilities to the seller. So just wanted to bring Michelle on the call today because she's a true professional in home warranty. I know specifically in the San Antonio market, we have some home warranty reps out there that just care about making money and they don't truly care about the client's best interest. They're literally bribing agents to use them, but then their home warranty product they have doesn't back up what they're selling. First American's been around, Michelle, what, I don't know how many years, but a long time.
40, a little over
Yeah.
5, yeah.
And they're here to stay. They're a Fortune 500 company. They're not going anywhere. They work with tried and true contractors. So we need to make sure when we're representing buyers that we're not only offering them home warranty solutions, but that we're doing our part to make sure that once they buy that home, that they're protected. So that's kind of my intro on home warranty. I'm a big advocate. I've always had a home warranty, especially when I was a single mom. So, and First American's what I had. So, Michelle, thanks for joining our call today.
You bet, you bet. Well, I'm excited to have the opportunity to see you all. It's been a while since I've had an opportunity to get in front of you, your team. There is a lot of changes in our industry, but you are definitely right, Lisa. Buyers sometimes think that, they don't need an agent. Well, they do. That seller is seller's agent representing the seller, looking out for the best interest of the seller. I do get calls periodically from a seller's agent saying the buyers does not have representation if I will reach out to them, which is really good on the listing agent's part. He doesn't have to do that, but in order to help, and it is peace of mind for that seller, because as a listing agent or a seller, if the buyer moves in that house and there's an issue, who are they going to come back to? So definitely, I agree with you. The buyer needs representation, and so often they're skipped by, especially with new construction. The builders are offering so many incentives, and that buyer really does need representation. And I've heard where buyers agents are kind of pushed out of the deal, because the builder kind of just takes over. So if you've ever taken anyone to see a new build, you need to be there for your buyer and make sure that you stay within that transaction. You deserve your commissions for sure. I believe that First American is a company that offers great education, great service. More than anything, I want you to know that I want to be your go-to person. If you want me to educate, I am here to educate your clients, whether it is a seller. If you are interested in putting a seller's coverage on that property during the listing, we do offer that. There are two different types of coverage. You can offer a free seller's coverage, or if you add in HVAC, it is $70 at the time of closing. The benefit of having the seller's coverage is if you have a listing, a live listing, and something goes wrong in that house that's covered, maybe the water heater goes out or the dishwasher, the seller can place claims and take advantage of their coverage during the listing period. And if the inspection report comes back and there's something that needs to be addressed, the warranty can come into play. But a seller's coverage, our ask is that in offering a free seller's coverage, that you as a seller provide a 1-year warranty for the buyer. And the importance of having that continue from the seller to a buyer is history. Because if something breaks down day one, that buyer is protected because there was history on that property. So staying with the same company from the seller's coverage to a buyer's package is really important. If any of you are interested in more information on seller's coverage and the benefit, I'm here to educate you, educate your clients. I highly recommend that if you are working on a deal, that you reach out to me, introduce me to your clients, whether it's in a text message or an email, loop me in and say, hey, this is Michelle Garcia. I work with her on home warranty. I'm going to have her reach out to you to go over warranty plans and how the claims process works. I always educate clients in order for them to have a good understanding of what they have, how it is used, what is covered, and what is not covered. My goal—
Well, Michelle, too, just to interject on that, as we're trying to win listings, having that in your listing presentation and going over that when you meet with the client, I've never heard of another agent doing that. And even putting that in your marketing packet you take in, to me, just shows your dedication and professionalism to that seller, that you're doing things a little bit different and you truly care about them and any expenses they might have to incur, especially if the home's vacant and they've already moved to another state or whatever. To have that peace of mind would be a big positive, in my opinion.
It is. I had a EXP agent that called me recently and he said, Michelle, we just did our final walkthrough. We close tomorrow. The water heater's leaking and the dishwasher's leaking. We were able to place those claims, get someone out to repair the water heater. I provided a letter of intent stating that the dishwasher, there was a claim on the dishwasher and it would be repaired and taken care of under the seller's coverage. It's just peace of mind. It did not hold up the closing. Everything went through smoothly. The repairs were made, and that seller was taken care of, and the buyer as well. And in that case, when the buyer receives a warranty, then the repairs, the warranty on the repairs goes to the buyer. But say the buyer decided to go with another company, then those repairs, they would not have had that peace of mind, knowing that they can fall back on First American after the fact in case something else went wrong. So seller's coverage is huge. We do have a lot of marketing materials. I have sign writers. I have move-in checklist. I have open house feedback forms. We have a lot of customized marketing materials free to you as a real estate agent, that you can log into our portal and order them with your information on them, customized. They're 100% free. As far as door hangers are concerned, I offer door hangers. I carry them with me. If you have an open house, I have some great open house door hangers that you can fill them in with the address of your open house and go out and market an area around the open house and draw in more people. So those tools, any of those tools, if you're interested, I'll be more than happy. I can send you a flyer on that, Lisa, and you can share it with the group. But education is key. I know that we are all in sales. We all provide a service, and we all need our team to take care of our clients because we want those clients to continually come back to us. Home warranty companies do not stay alive without renewals. So our goal is obviously good service, whether it be from me or my claims department. That service needs to be provided. And I stay with your clients long after the transaction. So I'll work with them through the transaction, and then they know they can always reach out to me after. I make when I contact them, I make sure they save my information, and they will. They'll pick up the phone, they'll call me and say, "Hey, Michelle, I want to know if this is covered. How do I place a claim? What should I expect?" During the claim, they may call me and say, "Hey, Michelle, what's going to happen next? When will my part come in?" And at that point, I would lead them to my claims partner, introduce them to her, and have her take ownership of the claim and work with them one-on-one until the end of the claim. So service is key. Making sure that client understands what's going on is a key key service for us. Definitely.
That's another differentiating factor in First American. So Michelle was more like San Antonio over, and Shawnette was more of my area, Schertz, New Braunfels, when I was in title. And Shawnette would drive a lot, and I'm like, I can't have you drive anymore. You need to be my passenger princess, because yes, she was sales, but they field the service claims too, and they're troubleshooting and staying connected. I don't know another home warranty company where you're going to get to go back to your rep for that process. You're going to be sent to a 1-800 number that's probably someone offshore that's trying to put the claim in, and for your clients to have that peace of mind again, that they can pick up the phone and call Michelle for any issues, is huge.
Yeah. Now,
I don't know how you do it. I would pull my hair out. I really don't know how you do it.
Well, in the beginning, it was hard balancing everything, but I've been with the company 11 years now. So, and we have improved over the years. Having my own service partner, her name's Michelle too, which is kind of strange, but whenever I have anything, like this morning, I had my morning meeting with her, talked about the claims that we're working on, so I'm kept in the loop. If a homeowner calls me, or an agent calls me, I'm kept in the loop, so we know what's going on. We do also keep a contractor log, because a lot of times there's complaint. Oh, a contractor was rude, or whatever it may be. First American wants to know about that, so that we can sit down with the contractors and tell them, hey, your technician on 123 Main was rude to the homeowner. I think additional training is needed, or whatever it may be, whether it's a problem with a technician, or if it's a problem in my service department, I need to know, because we take that opportunity for further training, and we are obligated to that contractor to allow him to make those changes within his company, to make those improvements. And our goal is for us to improve, as well as our contractors. So problems, I always tell homeowners, you have a problem, please let me know, because I want to know about them so that I can improve on making sure those things don't happen again. Another big thing that's happening in our industry, and I'm sure you probably all heard about the 2025 HVAC mandate, the refrigerant mandate that has gone into effect. We've had multiple different mandates through the last 5-6 years, with R22 being phased out in 2020. It is still being used. It just cannot be produced anymore. But this new mandate is a little different. This mandate, the refrigerant is more flammable. It is more energy efficient. It's better for the environment. But now our air conditioners are the new air conditioners with this new refrigerant have to be manufactured with shutoff valves. They have regulators on them that can detect if there's any kind of a leak, so that they can immediately shut off. So the air conditioning systems themselves are going to be more costly. We're averaging about 25% more the cost of a new air conditioner with the new refrigerant. And that refrigerant is let me tell you I'll tell you the name of it. I forget myself. It is A211 refrigerant, or R32. Those refrigerants are more flammable, and you will hear them out at the top, out in the, and with your clients maybe questioning on air conditioning. And let me tell you how First American is honoring the regulations. We always go by government mandates. So any new air conditioning system that we have to install will have the new refrigerant. And we will have to have the technicians, and the HVAC companies are going to be required to have more training in order to learn how to repair them, install them, and things like that. So if you have anyone ask you about that, send them my way. If you have a client that comes up and says, "Hey, I just had a home inspection. I'm really concerned. The inspector said my air conditioner needs to be updated. It's not up to code." So we do bring systems up to code when there is a failure. We will not just go in and replace a system. We'll bring it up to code, whether it's on air conditioner, water heaters, electrical. When a failure happens is when home warranty will bring it up to code at that time. So if you have a client that you're working with and that is a little nervous about buying a house because systems are not up to code, or if they've heard about the refrigerant and they want to know how home warranty is going to cover that, I'll be more than happy to go over that with your clients as well. There are a lot of people out there that they hear flammable and they freak out right away. These systems are being made with the proper shut-off valves and leak detectors, so none of that should happen, right? But just in case, I'm here to help you, to help your clients have a better understanding. You can always reach out to me if you have any questions at all about that. Like I said, we do have a lot of marketing materials. I can send you a flyer on the mandate that will help you to have a better understanding. So when you're out in your job and you're with your clients, that you can actually explain a little bit about it. If you like, I can send that on over too.
Awesome. Yeah, anything you can email would be great. When should one of our agents loop you in on the buyer? Once it's under contract, once it's like 10 days from closing, what's the best time to reach out to you?
Well, the best time is when it's under contract, because, your buyers are busy. And if you loop me in a text and you introduce me to your buyers, sometimes it takes me, I'll call immediately, I'll email. Sometimes it may take a couple days to get to your clients. My goal is to educate them. If you can just reach out and say, "Hey, Michelle, I'm under contract on this property. I've negotiated so much money. And will you reach out to my clients?" And then in another text message, loop me in with your clients and say, introduce me to your clients. Also tell me their names. I had someone yesterday that introduced me to their clients, but they didn't tell me their names. So when I called them, it was like I didn't know their names. So give me their names, reach out in a text message, introduce me so that they know who I am when I call. If none of us are answering phone calls that when we don't know numbers anymore. There's so many scam calls out there. So I highly recommend that you introduce me. There's a huge comfort level in an introduction. I will go over everything with them, and then I will place their order and send the invoice to you and to the title company. I can do it at the time you're sitting at the closing table. But in order for me to have the opportunity to introduce me to your clients and go over our coverage and claims process, I need at least a couple days just to be on the safe side.
Perfect.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. So
Perfect. Does anybody have any questions for Michelle? I know some of you guys are working with buyers right now, and it's a marathon, not a sprint for sure with these people.
well, if you're working with a buyer and you want information, just send me a text and I'll send you over a brochure for you to share. Do not send them to a website. If you are going to tell them to, research home warranty, I have agents deal with their clients in different ways. I have some that will send them multiple names of companies, or that will tell them to get on a website. I think the best thing is for you to actually give them the name of the company with the local rep's phone number, so that they can actually reach out to the local rep instead of going online and researching home warranties, because they ultimately end up getting a quote for a national renewal, which is not the right plan for a buyer. It is not the right plan. It's not as robust. It's more costly. So the best thing for you to do is actually give them my direct information.
What should we be putting in for offers for pricing right now? For like basic plans, like what would be a good range to include in the offer?
A basic plan, and I'm going to tell you, a basic plan on a house with an older system is not going to be enough. If you have a newer house, a basic plan at 515 will be fine because they normally, if a couple years old, they are up to code. You have an older house. I had air handler claim that I was working on yesterday. Homeowner only had a basic plan, not an upgrade. And so the Halloween disposal is not in a basic plan. Recapture, reclaim of refrigerant, permit cost, code upgrades, all of that is, so it can save a homeowner hundreds of dollars. So if you are actually I would say that the 690 is a good place to be because it includes all the appliance, washer, dryer, refrigerator. It's an upgraded plan. 690. If you have to go any lower, 615 is an upgraded plan. It doesn't include washer, dryer, refrigerator. We do have a max plan, which is 840, but that max plan has multiple upgrades. So if you're working with a house that's got a 25-year-old air conditioner and you really want to protect your clients, I would do that.
Now, what about like pools and septic? Are those additional, or is that included in what you just said?
So a basic plan is going to cover, a basic plan or any of the plans that I mentioned to you are going to cover your basic appliances in the house within the foundation. Pool is an additional cost. Well and septic are additional cost. Water softener is an additional cost. So definitely your basic home warranties packages include all the appliances within the house. Your stove, oven, microwave, dishwasher, garbage disposal, the garage door, washer, dryer, refrigerator, electrical, plumbing, and heater and air conditioner. But if any of y'all are really worried about a house and the systems in the house because they're older and they've had problems, don't hesitate to reach out to me because I can guide you as far as the best amount to negotiate. And also when I speak to your clients, maybe you were only able to negotiate $600. You might tell me my client might be interested in adding coverage and paying the difference. I will always tell them if you send them the brochure, and I will tell them of my recommendations with the amounts that have been negotiated for them. But I will tell them if you would like to add additional coverage, you can pay the difference at closing.
And then just to clarify, the 690 would be for the first year, and then is the renewal the same rate if they wanted to renew it, or how does that process work?
I always tell your clients we do have a national renewal at close to the end of their first year. They will get a mail, a quote in the mail for our national plan. But I always tell your clients, if you, because of Lisa, she worked with you, she's a client of mine, I can offer our real estate plan that we offer our real estate agents in their realm of influence. So your clients, I offer them our consumer direct, which is not offered to the general public. It is only sold through an area manager like myself. And it's for you as a real estate agent, your friends and family, and your realm of influence. That plan is about $20 more expensive, and it can be paid in monthly payments at the renewal time. But I need to set it up for them.
And is that something that I know when I have like little contracts to renew, you have to let them know ahead of time, or if it expires, is there like a grace period that they can still renew it?
Yeah, they can come to me. It doesn't matter. And the consumer direct, a national renewal has a 30-day wait period. A consumer direct picks up immediately. There's no wait period at all. So there's a lot of benefit on the consumer direct. So always make sure, just remember, if you decide to renew, call me. I always tell them, just call me and I'll work through it with you and give you a quote. So I always make sure I tell the clients, that's why introduction is really important, so they can build a relationship with me, and they know that I'm here if they need assistance with a claim or if they have questions about their renewal. I always make sure that they have my number and they know that I'm available. And believe me, they call me all the time, and they may call me a month ahead, and I'll tell them, okay, let's wait a few weeks and then I'll get you set up, So communication is really powerful when, they know they have someone that they can communicate with and find out information and get direction for the future. Because like I said, I stay with your clients long after the closing.
Speaking about that too, one thing that I can vouch for with Michelle, Shawnette, and their team is they're going to help you look good so that you get other referrals from your client. You know, if we're sending them to a home warranty company that's a fly by night, not going to uphold their end of the bargain, your buyer has an issue, it doesn't get solved, that's all a reflection back on you. So we want to make sure that we're aligning with partners that reflect the best and that add to what we're providing, not take away. And we're not trying to make excuses or whatever to overcome whatever failures they may have. So just remember, just like lender and title partners, we want to make sure that our home warranty partners, because they stay with them a lot longer than the title company, a lot longer than the lender, right? The lender loans them the money, they usually sell off the loan and we don't see that person again. As long as they renew their policy, they're going to stick with Michelle. So we need to make sure that we're sending them to somebody that's going to be around to take care of them.
Yeah. You want those referrals. You don't want them to like have a problem a few months down the road and then be angry at you because you recommend a company.
They're already angry enough. We want to keep them
Well,
happy as they can.
And people get angry, you know.
Oh yeah.
Said, hey, my air conditioner, they're angry, and I listen to them and everything, and then I take action. And
Yeah,
I make sure,
like it's your fault, you know.
yeah. Well, but you know what? We have to sympathize and we have to listen. And you know, their problem somehow becomes our problem, but
You're right.
we have to take care of it for them, and they have to know that we're going to react. And that's what I always tell my claim partner. Okay, where are we here? Have we communicated? You know, I'm always communication to me is key. Even if you don't have any updated information, at least reach out and say, hey, I'm working on this. This is what, you know, I did this and this, but I'm waiting for this.
Mm-hmm.
So communication is key, whether there's been a change in the situation or not. As long as you reach out to your clients, they're happy. You know, and I think that goes with anything. Communication is key. If someone's sitting and wondering, they're pondering, they're getting angry, you know, no, we need to make sure that they know we are trying our best to take care of whatever needs they have at the moment.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Thank you, Michelle, for your time. If you don't mind sending me that. And then on our group page, I'll share all Michelle's contact info. And just remember, if you have listings on the market, once the listing's on the market, is there any time on that seller's coverage? So if it's been on the market 3 months, can they still reach out now for that seller's coverage, or is it at the time of listing?
It should be at the time of the listing. It should be at the time. But if you have a one that's been sitting there for a long time and you have not even got a contract, give me a call and I'll put it on there for you. Yeah.
Okay, you're awesome. I think, Kent, you have a question?
I do, and I hope you can hear me. I'm driving, and I don't have a personal assistant, but I'm going to have an open house, not this weekend, but next weekend. And I got in a little late. You did say that you had information for open houses as well.
I do. And I have also open house door hangers. So if you want to market the territory around your open house, I'll be happy to drop off some door hangers at the office. Where are you? Are you able to pass by the office to pick them up?
He's in the Marble Falls area.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
if you have something, maybe I can print off or something like that, maybe.
Well, the door hangers, I don't think it would behoove you to actually print them off. I can send, I do have, we do have some other materials that you could use for your open house, like feedback forms and stuff like that, that you can actually order. I will,
Michelle, if you can drop some off to the office, somebody will be going up to, Kent lives in the Marble Falls area.
Okay.
But somebody from Bernie will be going up there the next week so we can get him to him.
Okay. I'll head out.
Wonderful.
I'll head out to you. I can't tomorrow. I'll be up in San
No, next week is fine.
I'll see you Monday. I'll take some stuff to you. Okay.
Thank you, ladies.
I appreciate
Thank you, Michelle. I appreciate your time.
You bet. I appreciate your time as well. You all have a great day. Bye.
Thanks, Michelle.
Thanks.
Bye. Does anybody else have any questions or anything going on I can help you guys with? Everybody good? All right. Y'all have a great day.